Yowie wowie! Now we have two champs who won't defend their titles. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. It is sadly official. The Fiend Bray Wyatt is being pushed as an unstoppable force. The Jason Voorhees of the WWE, if you will. I get the feeling that if Seth Rollins had killed the Fiend at Crown Jewel, it would have just made him angrier. What's also official is that apparently the trade made during the draft to get Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross on SmackDown has finally been cashed in by Raw. Since the Fiend is exclusive to SmackDown and the new Universal Champion, for a bit over 30 hours there, Raw had no primary champ. Then Paul Heyman announced that he and Brock Lesnar were hoofing it to Raw so that they could target Rey Mysterio for the chair beatdown given to Brock at Crown Jewel. So, the primary titles have swapped brands. For the first time since the split, Raw has the WWE Championship. That leaves SmackDown with the Universal Championship, the title Raw created when they didn't get the WWE title in the first draft. And none of us will be seeing either title defended except on major pay-per-views until one or both lose their said titles. Now, as we all know, Brock Lesnar is a big prize fighter, and fighting outside of WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and any international pay-per-view is way below his pay grade. He scoffs at the so-called 30-day title defense rule and only defends a title when he wants to. Now, sure, he was in Money in the Bank and Clash of Champions earlier this year, as well as the first SmackDown on Fox, but that was only so he could get a primary title back around his waist. Once he got it, he refused to let it go unless the money was big. But what about The Fiend? Well, since Bray Wyatt started his whole Mr. Rogers with schizophrenia angle, he's been in the ring 3 times. Once at SummerSlam to knock Finn Balor back to NXT, once inside Hell in a Cell to show the world he can't be stopped, and once at Crown Jewel to really drive that message home. Now that he's Universal Champion, you honestly think we're going to see that blood red belt live on SmackDown as long as he has hands on it? Hell, it might not even be on Firefly Funhouse because it's the Fiend, not the cuddly Bray Wyatt, who slayed the Beast / Kingslayer. And who knows who he'll face at Survivor Series, but if Seth frickin' Rollins couldn't keep the Fiend down, who the hell can? Thanks to Brock Lesnar and the Fiend, we are back to the 1980s when it comes to primary title matches. They will most likely only happen at house shows and major pay-per-views. And now I'm starting to wonder, is that a bad thing? I mean, we've been so used to seeing champs defend their titles on at least a monthly basis since the In Your House pay-per-views began and morphed into the monthly pay-per-views we now know. But back in my younger days, if you wanted to see a title defense, you either had to wait a while for one of the only 4 pay-per-views of the year to arrive, the ones I call the majors, wait for one of the 5 Saturday night main events that occurred between September and May, or you had to spring for a ticket to a show at Madison Square Garden, Nassau Coliseum, or the Meadowlands, where I was from. We didn't have the comfort of watching champions battle for supremacy on live cable TV, mostly because cable TV was just getting off the ground at the time. Now I know, I have often said that Brock should be forced to defend the title every pay-per-view or have the title stripped for a true fighting champion. And it's still annoying seeing whatever primary title he has show up every 3 months at the best. And it doesn't look like The Fiend is going to be much different if he's only had 3 matches since returning. But then again, shouldn't title matches be special occasions? There's a reason you normally see UFC or boxing champs take several months in between defenses. And it's not just so that they can relax and count their fight money. It's because being a champ does have its perks. And holding back title matches only makes the matches we do see that much more special. Now don't get me wrong, I want Brock and The Fiend to defend their titles during house shows. That's what champs did before Raw and SmackDown came around. But, now I'm okay if they don't defend on televised shows for a while. Makes it a lot more special. As long as the defenses aren't so one-sided that we lose that specialness. Oh, wait, this is Brock and The Fiend we're talking about here. Oh, boy. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. See ya.